Here with Coach Billy Harmon ahead of Saturday's game against Hoopeston. And Coach, thank you for taking the time to give us a word. You've got some games under your belt. Mixed results so far. Tell us a little bit about how the season's gone at this point.
Well, so far the weather has really been the story of our season. We played 2 games so far. One was in 35-degree weather, and the other one was Tuesday in 40-degree weather. So we seem to be having a little bit tough time with the fundamentals of the game because it's so cold.
Right. I can relate. I've been around baseball a while, and man, that weather, it can play a role. Saturday's supposed to be, because we're filming this on Wednesday, Thursday. Today's Thursday.
Today's Thursday.
Yeah, today's Thursday.
Yes.
It's good. The weather on Saturday is gonna be all right. How do you think it won't be a factor? How do you think the team responds?
Like I say, the old coach's cliche, your best improvements from game 1 to game 2, and it certainly was. So we're looking for even more improvement in games 3 and 4. Hoopeston is a team that historically we are very competitive with. There are years when they sweep us, years we sweep them. More often than not, we split.
Okay.
So it's a real good test early in the season for us to get a little confidence. We still haven't even been through our pitching rotation. So hopefully after Saturday, everyone would have had one game, and we can kind of put together a depth chart with our pitching.
Right. And also a few outside distractions on Saturday. The game's at 9 a.m. We've got prom later that evening. You think that'll be a factor at all, or do you think you guys will just come out and play ball?
It's always a factor when we play on prom Saturday. We've been fortunate the last 2 seasons we haven't had a game. But we did move it up, as you know, an hour to give them a chance. Coaching girls is a little bit different than coaching boys. They need more time to get ready for the evening's festivities. So we hope that by moving it up and then not having much of a break in between, that won't figure into them having any problems with getting to their prom.
Right. All right, Coach. I appreciate you for taking the time to
appreciate you giving me the time.
Give us an interview. The Tigers take on the Cornjerkers next on the Tigers Media Network. Live from the softball field on the campus of Urbana High School, it's Tigers softball on the Tigers Media Network, just about set to get underway on this Saturday morning. First pitch high, ball 1. Brianna Martin is the first batter for the Hoopeston Cornjerkers. She's the third baseman for the Cornjerkers. Marley Glenn, the starting pitcher for Urbana. It's 1-1. I am Joey Wright, and I'm joined by Jason Leggett of Urbana Public Television this morning. And we're going to have a 1-2 count now to the first batter, Martin.
Nice crisp morning for some baseball, Joey.
Softball.
Excuse me, softball.
And the first batter of the game, Bree Martin, dispatched via strikeout by Marley Glenn. It'll be Lacey Runge, the second baseman, next up for the Cornjerkers. Bit of an interesting nickname, wouldn't you say?
That it is, over from Vermilion County. I'm originally from Oakwood, so very familiar with Hoopeston.
Certainly, this one's popped up. And first baseman Lauren Madison is there, 2 away.
And lucky this early in the morning, the sun coming up out of the east wasn't a factor in that play.
No, but it's a factor for us.
It is a factor for us, yeah.
I really wish I'd brought a hat. Next up, Maddie Pickett, the shortstop for Hoopeston. And ball 1. Pitcher for Urbana, I mentioned Marley Glenn. The catcher, Aaron Wright. 1-0 offering. It's also going to be low, ball 2.
Well, and you spoke with Coach Harmon earlier this week, and he mentioned the weather being a factor in the Tigers' first 2 games. It looks like it's going to be about a perfect day here. A little bit chilly this morning, but to be expected.
Certainly the second game of this doubleheader, which we aren't covering, it should be even better.
Absolutely.
We believe we've got a 3-0 count here, so we'll see what happens. It's ball 4. So Pickett draws a walk. She'll be the first base runner of the morning. And up next, the center fielder, number 7, Raven Rutherford. A lot going on that we'll talk about as the broadcast progresses. Got prom in a few hours. I believe that's at the Alumni Center.
Well, and that's one of the reasons that we're out here at 9 a.m. rather than 10 a.m. This game first scheduled for a 10 a.m. start, but with prom this evening, wanted to give the Tigers plenty of time to get ready for that event.
Certainly.
Ready, Tigers?
It's 1-0 to Rutherford. And make that 2-0. Got 2 outs. On deck would be the first baseman, Lindor. And a swinging strike 1. We can't really see the scoreboard from where we're at, so I've got to keep up on the counts manually here.
Make you earn your paycheck.
Oh, yeah. This is popped out of play, foul. Won't hit a car, but it goes on to Washington State.
Almost made it to your car.
Oh, my car's... I'd like to say my car's out of harm's way. I'm not sure if that's the case.
Go, girls!
And that took a bounce off the ground and hit Rutherford. So that's the second walk of the game. She'll take first, and stepping up to the plate, the first baseman, Macy Linder.
Come on, Mercy.
Mercy, a junior for the Cornjerkers.
That is Mercy. First glance, I thought it said Macy. That's strike 1. And as I mentioned a few moments ago, she's the first baseman this morning for Hoopeston. That's low.
Nice stop there from the Tigers catcher to keep the runners on first and second. Of course, a short backstop here at the softball field, so even if that does get past her, they really got to get some wheels for those base runners to advance.
Yeah. Wright's a pretty good defensive catcher. A lot in the dirt here early on from Glenn. We'll see if she can work past that. I believe we've got a 2-2 count. I know the first number's 2 at least. I don't know what the strike count is here, but now we know we've got 2 strikes. On deck, should Lindor reach base, would be the pitcher, Emma Jett. And we're going to have a full count here with 2 outs.
It's a big pitch early on here in this ball game. Certainly don't want to have the bases loaded with only 1 out in the first.
I believe we've got 2 outs. First the strikeout and then the, well.
Oh, then the pop out. That one's deep.
And it's gone. Man.
Some power on that one. 3-run shot.
And Macy Lindor gives the Cornjerkers a 3-0 lead. Mercy, man. It's early.
So a big swing there from Mercy Linder. And it's a 3-0 lead here for the Cornjerkers, and we'll see how the Tigers respond.
Certainly with 2 outs, it'll be interesting to see how they approach this next at-bat. It's Emma Jett stepping up to the plate. And she pops one up. It'll be Matson making the play. And that sends us to the bottom of the first. So, a big inning for Hoopeston early on. They lead 3-0.
So we'll see what the Tigers can put together offensively here. get back some of those runs, but still very early in this ball game and plenty of time for them
Certainly.
to come back from this 3-0 deficit.
And this Tigers offense in their own right is very capable. We've seen them put up big numbers in the past when we've covered these games, so we will see how it develops. The lineup for Urbana looks like this. Batting first, the second baseman, Maddie Sanders. Cameron White bats second. She'll be in center this morning. Erin Wright is the catcher, number 28. She bats third. Lauren Matson, the first baseman, will bat fourth. Shay Feller is at third. She will bat fifth. Mercedes Williams, the left fielder, bats sixth. Nia James in right bats seventh. Esri Vesley, the shortstop, bats eighth. And Marley Glenn, the pitcher, will round out the order. She bats ninth. As we mentioned, the pitcher for the Cornjerkers is Emma Jett. The catcher will be Randall. A lot of juniors in this Urbana lineup, and that's part of the reason why we moved the game up to 9 o'clock. Give the players plenty of time to prepare for prom.
No seniors.
No, it's
right?
It's a really young
Younger
team this
team,
year.
yeah.
They have played 2 games to this point, I believe. A 10-20, or I guess 20-10 loss against Villa Grove, and I believe the score against Westville was 9-2. Someone can check me on that, but either way, it was a loss to the Tigers of Westville. And we await Maddie Sanders to step up to the plate. And here she comes. And we'll see how the Tigers offense reacts. Down 3-0. First pitch from Jett forthcoming. And it's going to be, ooh, looked a little outside to me, but they're going to call that strike one. And Sanders flies out to the shortstop, Maddie Pickett.
Hit that one right to her. Shortstop didn't have to move. That was a nice swing, though. Good cut. Just need a little bit more power behind it.
A little bit. A lot of time to straighten that out a little bit. Next batter, Cameron White. Cam is in center field this morning, and she tries to drop down a bunt, goes foul. On deck, Erin Wright, and then after that, Lauren Matson, the catcher and first baseman, respectively. A 1 forthcoming to Cam White. And that'll be a swinging strike 2. So that eliminates the bunt possibility with 2 strikes. And the 0-2 from Jett. And that's going to be low and outside, ball 1. And the 1-2, foul ball.
Battling at this bat.
Yep. Certainly early on, you want to get the opposing pitcher's pitch count up, make her work a little bit. Same strategy as we see ball 2, applicable to baseball.
Well, and I know the IHSA over the offseason put a pitch limit on baseball pitchers. Can't use them quite as much as some coaches were. Certainly don't want, and the idea is that you reduce the wear and tear, and been a couple cases where 16-year-olds getting Tommy John surgery, and that's no good.
No, Tommy John surgery is an epidemic throughout baseball. Certainly not just at the high school level, but in the minors and major leagues as well. That'll be strike 3 to White. But they're going to say the strike was dropped by the catcher, and White's safe at first. good awareness from Cam there to realize that was the case, because I don't think the catcher realized it. Got to hold on to the third strike. Speaking of catchers, it'll be Aaron Wright, Urbana's catcher, stepping up. Sophomore number 28. Number 15, Lauren Madsen, waits on deck. So Wright with one runner on. We'll see what she can do. I wouldn't be totally surprised if White tried to take second here. We'll see how it plays out.
She does have some speed. See if a pitch gets away, maybe. She thought about it closely that time. Yeah. The catcher was ready. Popped right up there, ready to make that throw to second. Although it didn't see the second baseman or the shortstop headed that direction.
Yeah,
so
second base is wide open. It's in there, strike one, and White does in fact take second. Gets past the second baseman. She's looking three, and she's in there. So White takes two there. And now Aaron has a runner on third with one out.
So the Tigers that much closer to getting on the board.
It's 2-1. This really changes what you can do at the plate here. Having a runner on third is way different than having a runner on first, and that's fouled right back to us. Two and two. 2-2 offering, popped up, not very far. This won't go past first. It's fielded by the first baseman, Mercy Linder, for the second out. That wasn't nearly quite deep enough to drive the run in. Let's see what Lauren Madsen can do. Urbana's first baseman batting cleanup this morning. And she takes a swing. This is fouled into the parking lot. And never seems to hit a car when it goes out there.
A few feet closer to your car, though.
Okay.
I'll note that.
We're getting closer.
I parked mine far away. When I was first unloading all the equipment, Coach came up and said, "You're not parking there, are you?" Because I was parked right next to the ballpark.
Strike two to Madsen here. I mean, rarely have I seen a car get hit, and it's even more rare that I see a car sustain any actual damage from getting hit by one of these softballs. So we'll see. 0-2, a good swing from Madsen, but it's fouled down the first base line.
And out of play.
Yep. What a good two-strike swing. Keeps the at-bat alive. We will see what you can do here. Still 0-2 to Lauren. Ooh, low ball one. Shea Feller would be the next batter should Madsen reach base here. And good swing, goes to the outfield. Center fielder ranges over, makes the play, and she gets it.
She reached for that one out there in center field. I thought she was there. She thought she was there, and almost a little bit more than an arm's length away, but she made it happen. So the Tigers leave one on third. No runs across the plate, and it's a 3-0 ball game in favor of Hoopeston as we head to the second inning.
That was Raven Rutherford out there in center that made the play. Yeah, I mean, that was really interesting. Certainly the sun, I don't think, was a factor for her.
No, I think she had some shades on, and she was facing the opposite direction. So sometimes once a ball gets in the air, though, it tends to blend in with things. And
certainly it's a very light-colored sky. Well, I guess softball, it's a yellow ball. So I don't think that problem would be quite as bad as it is in baseball. But
a little bit of wind blowing in the direction the ball shifted, but not near as much as we see at Prairie Park a lot of days.
It's a very windy field, because that's just out in the middle of a field. I mean,
absolutely. There's no buildings, at least not a lot of buildings around to block that wind. And it comes on pretty strong out there.
Certainly the last game we did against Oakwood a few weeks ago. Just cold that day to begin with, and oh, the wind would not let up. So those are the mornings you just want to, or I guess that was at 4:30 in the evening. Those are the ones you just want to end as soon as you get there. It's just
That was a longer game, too, if memory serves.
2 hours, 15 minutes. As Glenn throws strike one to Emma Jett. Jett puts it in play, gets past Feller at third. And on an E5, she will reach first.
Those are some of the balls that you really want to scoop up, those routine grounders. Not a lot of oomph behind that one either, but lost it in the dirt there.
And now it's up to Mackenzie Randall, the catcher for the Cornjerkers. See what you can do with the runner on. Yeah, certainly errors will mess you up, and especially you being down 3-0 this early, you can't really afford stuff like that. Drops down a bunt, goes foul. It'll be 1-1. On deck, Lauren Shepard, the left fielder. It's going to be ball 2. She wanted to drop down another bunt. If I'm Shea Feller, the third baseman, I recognize that bunting is most likely going to be the strategy here. Maybe not, we'll see. Low strike 2. So now it's 2-2 to Randall. 1 on, no out. 2-2. Swinging. It's gonna go into center field, base hit. Might be a play at second, and it gets past Esri Vesley at short.
Yeah, that first base runner had to hold up there to make sure that ball was going to fall, and once it did, there was a chance there for the Tigers to get the lead runner out, but didn't make it happen, unfortunately, and now runners on first and second with no out here on top of the second.
It's Lauren Shepard at the plate. She tries to bunt. It's low ball 1. Shepard, the left fielder. On deck is the right fielder, Shelby Simmons.
It was another nice stop there by Wright.
No, she's a very good defensive catcher. And we're going to see another bunt that's going to go foul. Sets up 1-1. Hoopeston's been trying to drop down a bunt all morning, but I think every attempt they've tried, they've either missed or it's gone foul.
Well, and Urbana tried that last half inning as well. Didn't work out for them. Bunt's not as easy as you would think. Some people say, oh, you know, you just make a little bit of contact, but as we see, a lot of those go foul. Sometimes you miss them.
I don't know, I was pretty good at bunting when I played baseball in 4th grade.
Well, that's the athlete that is Joey Wright. Yeah. I mean, we can't all be that good.
As we get a foul ball, it'll be strike 2. I never had much success swinging the bat, so eventually, you know, Coach and I worked out a plan where I just go up and bunt every time.
Not a bad strategy.
No.
If that's your strong point, certainly want to use players to their strong points.
I don't know how much stronger it was than the other options. It did lead to me getting a base hit when I had to battle a 2-strike count, so I couldn't bunt. And that's popped right back to Glenn. She makes the catch. 1 away.
And good awareness there as she looked both to second and first base, make sure those runners were where they were supposed to be. If not, she could have had a play on them.
Yeah.
So one down now, top of the second.
Those are the ones you like to feel. I mean, that was just nice and soft right to her. She had to run up a little bit to get it, but not.
A big cut there from the Cornjerkers, but not able to catch up with that pitch. Whipped her right past her.
Yeah. And Simmons takes ball one.
Let's go now, kids. You ready, defense?
So it's 1-1. On deck is Brianna Martin as we go back to the top of the order for the Cornjerkers. That's fouled right back to the backstop. There's a possibility for a double play that would end the inning. But instead she strikes out. So Simmons goes down on strikes. Back to the top of the order we go. Third baseman Bree Martin, who struck out in the top half of the first. Two on, two outs. Popped up. Matson makes the play. And that ends the top half of the second. No runs for Hoopeston that half inning. We go to the bottom of the second. Tigers down 3-0.
And the Cornjerkers able to get their first two batters on base, but unable to do anything with it there as they leave two stranded on first and second. Tigers coming up, seeing if they can make some noise offensively here, get on the board. They did have a base runner last inning, made it all the way to third, and that's after she struck out, if you remember. That was the dropped third strike. She made it to first and then stole second, and that ball was a little overthrown and went into the outfield, and she made it all the way to third. Just need to string some more offensive hits or plays together for the Tigers and get on the board here in the bottom half of the second inning.
Certainly. Leading off for Urbana will be Shea Feller. And on deck after Feller will be Mercedes Williams. But first things first.
This this field taking on a lot of rain on Thursday. Storms came through the area. It really, you can almost see it drying out. It really looked a little bit worse. I thought maybe it would get worse, but that sun doing a nice job drying things out.
Certainly. It does look kind of moist there in the backstop area, areas of high traffic. I mean, you can definitely see that it rained, but you're right. It's the field's held up really well. Oh, Feller fouls one right back to me.
I'm actually surprised we haven't seen anyone slide or anything in the outfield. The grass is pretty slick
right
out there.
And that has to do with just rain and morning dew and whatnot.
Absolutely.
0-2. This is popped up, and ooh, hits the umpire there.
You got
says he's all right.
like he didn't even feel it.
Yeah. Huh. I briefly feared that would get over the backstop and
As did I, and
yeah.
you could see that the catcher was trying to get a hold of it, but yeah, he took that one right on the back of the shoulder blade there. Could really hear that thwack, but
swinging bunt from Feller, throw to first, not in time. Well, it was probably in time, but got
in time, but the first baseman not able to haul it in there.
And on an E5, Feller reaches first. These umpires, they wear so much padding and whatnot. I mean,
I don't know if you got anything back there on the back of your shoulder blade.
I mean, well,
I think he's just tough, Joe.
Okay, I mean,
got to give him credit while credit's due.
I'll give him his credit. All right, yeah. You wouldn't see me back there behind the plate. That's for sure. I'd be out. Be the second base umpire.
Well, that's almost just as dangerous. Sometimes you get a line drive you don't see, or
Can be.
I've certainly seen field umpires get ran right over.
It's dangerous. It's not as dangerous just being behind the plate, though.
True, you don't have balls thrown at you every play.
Certainly dangerous a lot less often.
Line drive, kid. Line drive. Baby girl. Just a single, little single.
This is popped out of play into a yard over there on Broadway. I don't know if we're going to see a car get hit, to be honest with you.
Well, most cars are parked far enough away, except for the student driver education car, which is always parked right here.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's taken any dings over the years or not. It's tough to tell with whether it's the students and their inexperience driving, hitting some curbs, or it taking some balls. I don't know.
Mercedes will have 2 strikes here. I've definitely, when I first started out, I was a threat out there on the roads. But
Is that the car you drove?
no.
Oh, okay.
One I drove is parked.
You got the luxury edition, or what? You got an in, or?
I think that's one of the old driver's ed cars, because I know that they got new ones last year that I drove.
Gotcha.
This is fouled. This will go on to Washington. Almost hit a car driving down Washington there.
Almost.
Close but no cigar. 2 strikes to Williams here on deck, Nia James. It's low.
I know over the years, the Tigers and the Urbana School District has renovated some fields here and at Prairie Park, and I think this field might need a bigger backstop fence.
Yeah?
I wouldn't mind that. Or just face it in the other direction.
Oh!
I don't know. Safe. Must have just snuck underneath that tag.
I was going to say, Williams strikes out. Yeah. I guess that's a stolen base for Feller, but that was close. So Nia James, the right fielder, up for the Tigers.
All right, now you like your kid now, kid.
There's only 1 out here. Tigers have a runner on second. They trail by 3.
And we'll see. James swings. This is to first. It will advance the runner. But Nia is out.
So with 2 outs, the Tigers have a runner on third once again, just as they did in the bottom of the first.
We've seen this before. It's Esri Vesley, number 12, the shortstop, up for Urbana.
I'm hoping for a better ending this time. How about that? Let's
I'm with
get her
you.
across the plate.
And fouled away to the backstop. Should Vesley reach base, Marley Glenn will be up, see if she can help her own case. As we await the 0-1 offering to Esri, strike 2. High pressure situation up here at the plate, Jason. We will see. Here comes the 0-2, and right back to the pitcher, off the pitcher. 1 run is in, and Vesley's safe. An RBI for Esri Vesley gives the Tigers their first run of the game. It's 3-1.
Good swing right there.
Yep.
Had
Right.
some power behind it, right back to the pitcher. And pitcher not able to wrangle that one up in time anyway.
And the pitcher, Marley Glenn, up to the plate, fouls one away. We go back to the top of the order. If Glenn reaches, Maddie Sanders awaits on deck, number 36. That's a strike. Throw to second. Gets past the shortstop. So Vesley takes second there. Now Marley's got a runner in scoring position.
This, Marley. Come on now, kid. Go, Emma. Okay, Marley, you got
See how Emma Jett on the mound reacts. Second base umpire shifts to a new position behind the shortstop. And Glenn goes down on strikes.
So the Tigers leave one stranded. They get one across the plate, and it's a 3-1 ball game as we head to the top of the third here on the campus of Urbana High School.
Wouldn't you know it, I believe I got off by a batter for Hoopeston.
Well, we'll see who's coming up first here. Do you still have the coaches lineups, Joe?
I do. I just think I made an error. We'll see. It should be, I believe, Maddie Pickett up for Hoopeston here, but we'll see. The last out of the first inning, I don't think I recorded. Just went right to Urbana's scorecard.
And it is Pickett up here.
Yep. All right.
For the Cornjerkers.
That's the key to fixing a mistake. It's early detection. So it'll be Pickett up. We know for a fact that she walked in the first inning. So this will be her first at-bat of the game. Fouls been away, strike one.
Fouls that one right to her coach there on the third base side.
Pick number 12, the shortstop, fouls another one off. And I don't think that one hit a car either.
It did not. What happens if it hits one? Do we get like a free sandwich or something?
Oh, that'd be great. Not if it hits my car.
A free Polar Pop. That's what you're hoping for,
yeah.
right?
I was going to go get one before the game, and I didn't have time.
Well, and I mentioned that I had a kickstart in the car.
And I tried to buy it from you.
Well, and I wanted to get it for myself before the game started, but they started a few minutes early here.
That they did.
They were all ready. In fact, I think they waited a couple minutes for us to go set up our second camera in the outfield. It's nice of them.
It's dropped out there by Nia James.
Well, and I don't know if you caught that or not, but the umpire out there at second base thought that she caught that and called it an out, and then the home plate umpire corrected him. So there is a runner on first here.
It's early for all of us.
And Rutherford up to the plate.
Takes ball one. Yeah, we're supposed to start at 9. They were ready to go about 8:45. Oh, one bunt goes foul. No surprise. We've mentioned prom. There's also, I believe, a girls' track meet over at McKinley Field beginning at noon. So a lot going on for Urbana High School this morning and this afternoon, this evening.
Well, that starts at noon. Track meets tend to last a while, right?
They do.
Well,
hope none of them
sorry to those juniors and seniors.
Yeah.
You're not going to have time to do your hair.
Yeah. I got to choose between the meet or going to prom.
Are you headed over there after this?
I am.
You got a full day.
I do.
You're going to be here longer than a regular school day today, Joe.
Yeah.
So work on that.
And then
You're off tomorrow, though, right?
I'm off tomorrow.
There you go.
Tonight I'm not going to prom. In fact, I'm going to Buffalo Wild Wings. That's ball 4 to watch some basketball. Should be a pretty good Final Four this year. I'm excited.
And the tournament was kind of interesting. That first round, there were no real big upsets and no real good games.
No.
And then, of course, you've had a few since then that have really been good. That Wisconsin game.
Wisconsin-Florida?
Yeah, absolutely. That was
a
an
real
amazing game.
North Carolina-Kentucky was pretty good. I don't know, but you're right. This tournament, I've I've not enjoyed as much as I've enjoyed past tournaments.
Well, and of course, last year you had #2 Michigan State falling
I had Michigan
in the
State.
in the first game, and
Michigan,
most people
yeah.
had them winning it all, or
Good.
at least in the Final Four.
Yeah, that was not a fun game to watch, I'll tell you. This is grounded past.
I think that's going to score one.
Yep. No throw from Vesley. And it's 4-1 for the Cornjerkers. That scored Rutherford from second.
That was Pickett who scored from second. Rutherford is now on second.
Got it confused. It's too early for this, I tell you.
So they get one across the plate already. They've got 2 runners on here, nobody out.
Better Emma Jett, the pitcher.
Top of the third.
She puts one in play to left. It's caught out there. The umpire was obstructing my view, but the play was made. Nice
Routine fly ball there for the outfielder, and a nice catch.
Nice play by Mercedes out there in left field. Mackenzie Randall, the catcher, #3, stands in. And a swinging strike one. Worth noting that Pickett, who just scored for Hoopeston, reached base on an error. That's fielded out there by Shea Feller. Those errors will get you. Maybe if Pickett doesn't reach to get on, and lead off the inning, things are a little bit different.
So we got 2 out now.
Lauren Shepard, left fielder, up. Number 17, ball 1.
You can see Rutherford out there on second base. Pretty aggressive base runner.
Well, 2 outs, you can't be too aggressive. And that hits Shepard.
So that's the second hit batter.
First walk since the first inning, though.
It does load the bases here. So another big at-bat here and a big situation for the Tigers. They really want to get this third out by any means.
Brings up Simmons. I believe she was the one who flew out straight to Glenn last time up. Big situation here with 2 outs. Back to Glenn again, fielded by Sanders. Throw to Matson is in time.
Well, that was a risky throw there. If you're the if you're Coach Harmon, you really probably wonder just to step on second base and would have got the easy out, but it all worked out at the end, and that's the third out. So the Hoopeston Cornjerkers lead the bases loaded here. They get 1 across to make it a 4-1 ball game as we head to the top of the 4th. Excuse me, bottom of the 3rd.
Bottom of the 3rd, yep. Tigers got lucky there because remember the last time the Cornjerkers had a similar situation. That was in the first inning. They had 2 on and 2 outs. Obviously, is a big home run from Linder, so certainly they averted a crisis there. They escaped 3rd, having given up just 1. We go back to the top of the order for Urbana. It'll be Sanders, who made the throw to Lauren Matson to in the top of the 3rd, standing in to lead us off in the bottom of the 3rd. And then, of course, Cam White, Aaron Wright, and Lauren Matson would be the next 3 up for Urbana.
Well, Joey, the sun beating off my face and my upper body feels good, but my back is a little chilly and my feet are freezing. So
certainly
the joys of spring in central Illinois, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh, the sun's about to go behind a little cloud here, or at least it's thinking about it. Not a big enough cloud to make much of a difference, but fouled straight back. So it'll be 0-1. A good day for softball this morning, though. And I know our baseball team is in action in Rantoul right now. Sanders grounds it to third off the third baseman. Throw gets past the first baseman. Sanders gets back on first. Linder is the first baseman. She couldn't corral that in. Sanders aboard. E5. And it's Cameron White, the center fielder, up for the Tigers. She drops down a bunt, goes right back to the pitcher. Sanders will advance to second, but White on the sacrifice bunt goes down.
So runner in scoring position now for the Tigers at second base. That brings up Aaron Wright.
Wright had several big games last year in the softball games that we covered on the Tigers Media Network. In her first at-bat of the game, she flew out to first, so we'll see how this at-bat plays out. Right, the catcher, 0-1 count. No, it's 1-1. Runner on first, no outs. Grounded to runner on second, I should say. Is now out at third, but Wright reaches first. So, I'm sure they would have preferred to have Wright out at first and Sanders safe at third there, but
absolutely,
that's not how it played out. Wright's going to try to take second, and she's out. Huh. Disaster for Urbana.
Well, that was a real nice throw from the Hoopeston catcher there to get the out to end the inning.
Yeah, that was a nice throw. Not a good sequence of events at all for Urbana. Go from having a runner on first with, or on second, I should say. I don't know why I keep saying first. Runner on second with no outs, Sanders. She was on first with, okay, she was on first with no outs. Sack bunt put her at second, so still you go from having a runner on second with one out to.
So that's it.
So that's it, yeah.
You're back in the field now.
Yeah, no, that's not at all what they wanted.
And the Tigers trail by 3, 4-1 ball game here as we're in the top of the fourth inning. And now you really just want to keep piecing things together, hold them defensively, and the offensive side of things I think will come around.
Yeah, I mean, the Tigers have been putting the ball in play. You know, they've been doing all right on offense. Certainly the game of softball and similarly baseball, it just takes one big inning, you know. Certainly it's what we saw from Hoopeston in the top of the first. So I have faith that Urbana can get back in this game. Leading off, it should be Bree Martin, number 2. Instead, it is number 29.
It's Peyton Small.
Peyton Small. And Small to first base, Madsen. It'll be a 3 unassisted. She steps on the bag. And we have one out. So Glenn, let's see how she reacts with one out. It's high and outside, ball 1. Number 6, Taylor Ackenbrand, the batter for Hoopeston. It's ball 1.
So Ackenbrand, a junior for the Cornjerkers, gets her first at bat of the morning.
That's a pretty well hit ball, foul, and down the first base line. Back in Brand. We mentioned number 6, it's 2-1. And the pitch from Glenn. It'll be 2-2 on the swinging strike.
Come on, Taylor. You got this, Taylor. Let's go.
And she strikes out.
Go, Maddie.
So I believe we're, the last two batters were subs. We're back to Maddie Pickett, the shortstop who started the game there. Ball 1. Be interesting to see maybe if Hoopeston makes a change on the mound next inning. Sometimes these subs can foreshadow that. We'll keep an eye on it. Ball 2.
Perhaps you also got to remember today is a doubleheader, so coaches shift their lineups around to meet the need of that second game as well.
Certainly, this is fouled in the parking lot and onto Washington Street. 2-2 to Pickett with 2 outs. And this is hit to third, gets into the outfield. She'll have a base hit. Pickett's gonna stop at first, which was the right call by all means.
Rutherford back up to the plate now. This has really been the strong point of the Cornjerkers lineup here.
Certainly. She's got one at-bat. She walked in the first. And then a base hit in the third, ball 1.
Well, and even including Pickett on that, she had that 3-run homer
Yeah.
to start off the scoring run here. And kind of ended as well. It's only a 4-1 ball game. 2 out here in the top of the 4th.
Mercy Linder on deck. She's the one who hit the home run.
Oh, that's right.
is
That's
Linder,
right.
So
Off
Glenn, yeah. So certainly you want to get it out here so she doesn't have base runners again. And in there for a strike. We'll see. Pitch from Glenn. Inside for a ball. So a full count with 2 outs. From what we've seen, the best power hitter that Hoopeston has is on deck. Low, ball 4. Gets to the backstop right. Gets there, makes sure that Pickett does not advance to third.
So Mercy Linder back up to the plate. As you mentioned earlier, Joe, she had a 3-run shot in the first inning.
Exact same situation.
Let's see if we can't get a different result here for the Tigers.
I certainly hope for one. That looked like it hung up there a little bit.
You got this. Let's go.
0-1. Swinging, strike 2. All right, so Glenn is ahead in the count. 0-2, 2 outs, 2 on. Fouled out of play right behind us. Count will remain at 0-2. On deck would be Emma Jett. Number 10, the pitcher. 0-2 to Linder. Be 1-2. Lauren Matson leads off for the Tigers in the bottom of the fourth. 1-2 to Linder is outside ball 2. Certainly goes without saying that the Tigers need an out here. 2-2. Low ball 3. And Pickett is safe at second, as is Rutherford. Pickett is safe at third, Rutherford safe at second.
Well, and that was a close play down there at third. I thought the Tigers might be able to get that runner out, but not able to do so. So a full count here. Runners on second and third. A 4-1 ball game as the Cornjerkers look to add to their lead.
Full count pitch popped up. This will go out of play. Into the parking lot. Won't hit my car.
It's getting closer, though,
Getting closer, you're right. Ever since that first one. As long as it doesn't hit the windshield, I'm fine with it. It's my mom's car.
I don't think she'll be fine with it.
Yeah. Well,
and therefore later you won't be fine with it.
No, this is popped up to Sanders. She makes the play, and the Tigers get out of a jam. We go to the bottom of the fifth.
So the Cornjerkers leave 2 stranded on second and third there. No runs across the plate. It's a 4-1 ball game. Time for the Tigers offense to come alive here and string some back-to-back hits together.
Certainly the batters that we know will bat for Urbana, Lauren Matson, Shea Feller, Mercedes Williams. And then we get to the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Nia James, Fesley, and Glenn. Before we go back to the top of the order, obviously that's Sanders, White, and Wright. Game's been moving along in a nice clip. 9:49 right now. So we've been playing for just under an hour. Already in the bottom of the fourth. As we wait Matson to step up to the plate. And she gets set to step into the batter's box. We will see, looks like it's the same pitcher for Hoopeston. First pitch to Matson. She swings, hits it into center field. And there to make the play, Raven Rutherford for the first out. It's the second time Matson has flown out to center this afternoon, or this morning, I should say. Brings up Shea Feller, the third baseman, number 17. On deck, Mercedes Williams. First offering to Feller is fouled somewhere. That might have hit a truck. Don't think it did. Oh, 1. And this is chopped down the line to third, and the throw's in time, 2 away for Urbana. Feller goes down on a 5-3 putout. And Williams, Mercedes Williams, the left fielder, also plays basketball for Urbana, steps in. And a swinging bunt back to the pitcher. Jet to first makes the play. The Tigers go down 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the fourth. We go to the fifth. Still Hoopeston 4, Urbana 1. Our next broadcast for the Tigers softball team, Tuesday against Shiloh. That will be at 4:30 on the Tigers Media Network. After that, soccer on the 13th of April against Central at 6 o'clock p.m. Then baseball against Peoria Central. That's Saturday, April 15th. Baseball again on the 25th against Centennial. Softball again on the 27th against Central. The total amount of softball games that we will cover this year is 5. Obviously, the game against Hoopeston we're watching right now. Then I mentioned Tuesday the 4th against Shiloh. And then Central and Danville. And then the 16th against Normal West as well. Ball 1 to Emma Jett. And grounded foul to Matson at first. Again, I'm Joey Wright. Jason Liggett stepped away, but he's with me on the mic this morning. 1-1 to Jett. 3-ball 2. As we switch game balls. Here comes the 2-1 offering to Jett. Both starting pitchers still in the game. This is low ball 3. With this being a doubleheader, I'm not sure if Urbana is going to make a change on the mound anytime soon. As that's ball 4, Jett draws a walk.
Go, Mackenzie.
Kenzie Randall, the catcher, number 3, due up. Get a look at what she's done. A single in the 2nd, and then she flew out to 3rd in the 3rd. And that's a ball to Randall. You can have that if you want, Jason. It's
all you, Joe.
I appreciate you. This will be a single for Randall. So she advances Jett to 2nd. She herself is aboard with a single. Lauren Shepard due up, the left fielder. On deck, the right fielder, Shelby Simmons. This is a bunt. This isn't going to go foul. It's right in front of the plate. Wright is there to make the play. The throw is in time. So nice play from Aaron Wright to throw out Lauren Shepard at first. But comes with a catch because now the Cornjerkers have runners at 2nd and 3rd with only 1 out.
Looks like we might have had a change here as there goes. So Montez is coming in for Simmons.
Olivia Montez, indeed. I would imagine that she'd play in right field if she stays in the game. We could see a switch, or maybe Montez comes in to pitch next inning. Try to close the game out for Hoopeston. We'll see how it plays out. That was bunted foul. The bunt we saw from Shepard just now, I believe that's the first time a Hoopeston bunt has had any degree of success. Oh, one offering to Olivia Montez. She tries to bunt it again. Same thing happens. Scores a run. Emma Jett comes in from 3rd to score. Advancing to 3rd is Mackenzie Randall. And Montez herself is safe at 1st. So she's got herself an RBI bunt single.
Well, and that's unfortunate that they're able to get the run across and the Tigers don't get an out. So the Cornjerkers going to keep things going here.
Ball 1. To number 29, Peyton Small. And Small, good contact, gets down. This might score a few. One is in for Hoopeston.
You're going to see 2 come across you. That might be an inside the park. We'll see.
A good throw home. That takes away the possibility of an inside the park home run, but man, not what Urbana needed there. Small's going to have, oh man. Looked like there was a struggle out there from Nia James to field that. I mean, that happens, but the way she went down, she let it get past her, and that's a mistake you can't make.
Go, go, go.
Another bunt. They're going to try to do the same thing. Wright is there to prevent the run from scoring. An authoritative block there. Man. So Small will not score in her own right. But
Peyton Small gets the
yeah.
2 RBI triple, but she was not coming across that plate as long as Wright was still in the game.
No. Oh, man. So Maddie Pickett, the batter. Ball 1, yeah, that was good contact into left. Play is made by Williams, and we're out of the top of the 5th. And what Aaron Wright did, that's kind of what they're trying to move away from in certainly baseball, I know. I guess that's all fair in softball.
Well, and a lot of times, and the reason you see that moving away from baseball, it's the base runner that runs down the catcher while the catcher's still trying to make that catch. In this one, the catcher had the ball, stared her right down, and knocked her over.
Said boom. Not in my house. Oh. All right, so an F7 from Pickett ends the top of the 5th. Raven Rutherford will be due up when we get to the top of the 6th. And looks like to lead off the bottom of the 5th for Urbana will be Nia James. Tally up the score here.
Well, that's a 7-1 ball game here, yeah. Tigers trail by 6, so they have their work cut out for them here in the last few innings.
Well, they've got 3 innings, or 3 chances at the plate to cut into that 6-run lead. So, you know, if they score 2 here, then 2 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th, or a few different ways to break it down, then I like their chance. And Nia James, blooper into right.
She's going to grab 2 on that,
She
and
is.
that's slowly going to get things started here. Nice leadoff double here in the 5th inning. And somebody needs a helmet. I don't know if you heard Coach Harmon.
Yeah, Billy Harmon was not happy there. Nice. Flintroy will come in for Nia James. That's what I was trying to get while Coach was making his presence felt. Who do you think gets more animated during games? Softball coach Billy Harmon or baseball coach Gino Hoffman?
Gino Hoffman.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I don't know what Harmon could even do to catch up. You know, that, and certainly I just keep going back to last year when there was a
Rabbit ears.
Rabbit ears, that's right. Gino Hoffman really let his presence be known. I was surprised he was left in the ball game, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh man, because that was at an umpire. Said,
he let him know what was up.
Yeah. It's Esri Vesley at the plate for Urbana. Marley Glenn on deck, swinging. Strike 3 to Vesley there. So now it's Marley Glenn. I lost kind of the count there. On deck, Maddie Sanders. We go back to the top of the order after this. Glenn, the pitcher, pops one up. This will get out of the infield. Ooh.
Oh.
How did she hold on to that? Tagging up is Flintroy from second.
So a collision there from the center fielder and right fielder able to come up with that ball, but yeah, nobody called that ball.
That was,
the Cornjerkers lucky to get that catch there. That was a well-hit ball.
It was. Kind of into the gap there. That was Rutherford and Montez who collided out there. And Sanders will drive in a run. Maddie Sanders drives in a nice. Flintroy. Sanders will stop at first with an RBI single.
There you go, and just keep the batters coming here as the Tigers cut the lead to 5 now, 7-2, bottom of the 5th.
Certainly. I mean, the Tigers have time. I mean, we play 7 innings, so they don't have to get all 6 runs back at once.
Chip away little by little and hold them defensively. I think that's really the key at this point.
Bunt from White. She's got speed, and she'll get there at first in time.
And she shows that speed. She was there in plenty of time.
She was. So now the Tigers threatening. Very good hitter, Aaron Wright at the plate. I mentioned earlier she had several big games in the games we covered last year. Big opportunity to come in clutch here for the Tigers. It's outside, ball 1. On deck, Lauren Matson, the first baseman. Shay Feller, the third baseman, would be next. Wright, the sophomore, 0-1. I think it was 1-0. Now it's 1-1. Low ball 2. These are the situations you live for, Jason, as a player. 2-1. And there's strike 2.
Nipped the outside corner there.
That it did. 2 on, 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Wright. Outside, ball 3. Man, this is a situation and a half right here.
Well, and you hear Harmon that they're running on the release, so as soon as she lets go, there you see the runners, and that'll get some.
Looks like that'll drive one in. Aaron Wright has an RBI. Sanders scores.
So there you go, a 2-run inning so far for the Tigers, a 7-3 ball game here. And as I said, Urbana just needs to string some offensive hits and plays together, and that's exactly what they're doing here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
What I mentioned earlier, 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th, they're on pace for that. This could be a very compelling ball game to watch as we progress into these later innings. It's Lauren Matson up, and she has a chance to drive in some runs too. This is grounded to third. It's bobbled. And
he's
the score will be White. She's safe at the plate.
Some aggressive running there by the Tigers, and it pays off.
Man, so Matson has that RBI. White comes in to score from second. Yeah, I mean, they, I didn't go to the game against Westville. And on paper, that was like a 9-2 loss or something. But by all accounts, they competed the whole game. And when you compete the whole game just as they're doing now, good things are going to happen.
Yeah, and we see the Cornjerkers have a meeting on the mound here between their infielders. Just looking for an opportunity to regroup, I'm sure. Don't want to let this inning get out of hand from their angle as they came into this. A 6-run lead, now a 3-run lead. The Tigers cut that right in half. It's a 7-4 ball game, bottom of the 5th.
Yeah.
Runners on first and second.
And I like that move from Hoopeston. They recognize that they've kind of lost it a little bit, so they're getting their composure back. I like that. Good meeting.
That one in there for strike 1.
And this popped up into right. There to make the play. No, it gets it. It's an error. One in for Urbana. That's right. Here comes Madsen to score. She will. The Tigers
now trail by one. 7-6 ball game. A big offensive inning here for the Tigers as they have battled right back into the thick of things.
Man, how about it? I was telling some of the players they always play a good game when we're out here to broadcast these, and this game is no different. Feller's now at second. She's got 2 RBI.
Well, and when you spoke to Coach Harmon before the game, he mentioned that, you know, these two teams are pretty evenly matched. It seems like from season to season, one team will sweep, the other team will sweep the next season, and then they even things out the third season, and it kind of goes back and forth as we see that one fouled back.
On to Washington. Yeah.
So we are definitely in for a treat here to round out this first game of the doubleheader. Still plenty of game to play here. Just the bottom of the 5th.
Williams.
And they're getting a hold of this pitcher now.
Well struck into left. It's gone.
A 2-run shot there. The Tigers have taken the lead. A 7-run 5th inning here for the Tigers.
Mercedes
that brings them out of the dugout.
They answered the call. Mercedes Williams. 2-run shot. They've batted around now. They need a game ball now. Man. And, you know, Jason, it seems like in softball more so than baseball, we see these swings. You know, big innings are more common from what I've seen in softball than baseball. And
well, it's a smaller field. Yeah. You see a lot more steals in the game of softball generally. You know, it's an easier opportunity. Fence is closer in. So it makes it such an exciting game to watch.
It does. These games, really, they're never over until they're over.
Well, as we just see, you know, we entered this inning trailing by, or into this half inning anyway, trailing by 6, a 7-1 ball game, and now Urbana leads it 8-7. You mentioned that they don't have to do it all in one inning to come back. Well, they did.
They did, yeah. They did it anyways.
I'm fine with that.
As am I. But, I mean, let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. We've seen big innings from both teams, so the Tigers are going to have to play a very fundamentally sound game in the top of the 6th, top of the 7th, if they want to seal this deal.
Well, and I wouldn't mind an insurance run or two in between now and then.
Nor would I. This has all come with 2 outs, too. Yeah. Every batter, you know, Sanders, White, Wright, Madsen, Feller, Williams, and now Anais Flintroy. They've all done this with 2 outs, so this is... It makes the rally all the more impressive.
Well, and that really got the Tigers dugout into this game. You can really hear them chattering now, and they all came out of the dugout to congratulate the 2-run homer.
Took the Hoopeston dugout out of it a little bit. I should point out that Anais Flintroy has come in for Nia James. Came in as a pinch runner when James reached base.
That's a nice snag there by the Cornjerkers.
Out there at third, that is Peyton Small. I believe she came in as a... Did she come into field as well, or no? Okay, so I think that was...
Randall still. I think that was number 3.
Randall's the catcher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll figure it out next time they come out to field. Maybe Martin stayed into field. I'm not quite sure how that...
I thought Small had caught that last inning. Peyton Small was the catcher that last inning, and Randall was out there at third, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I thought I saw the number 3 come up with that nice snag there on third base. So it looks like Linder's coming back into the ball game. Mercy Linder.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be the first to admit that some of the substitution rules in the IHSA for baseball and softball they confuse me a little bit. we're at a baseball game in Charleston, because I'm the manager for the varsity baseball team, if you don't know. We were in a game in Charleston last week, and it was the bottom of the 6th. Looked like we were going to get 10-run ruled, so Gino put all of our bench hitters in. And we came back a little bit, scored 2 runs to prevent the mercy rule from taking effect. And then the fielding alignment was going to be all kinds of messed up. So all of the players that subbed out were allowed to re-enter.
Almost just like a basketball game.
Yep.
Come and go as you please.
Oh,
It's a good hit there
that is from number 7, Rutherford.
on the left side of the infield. Rutherford's had a solid game.
That she has. Drew a walk in the 1st inning, and then a single in the 3rd, drew another walk in the 4th. So she's now 2 for 2.
Hoopeston looking to get back some of those runs that they gave up. Or at least one to tie it. That ball got away from the first base player there for the Tigers. Went for the tag, and it kind of flew right out of that glove.
Yeah. Lauren Madsen down there at first. Linder has probably, I would say, been the player of the game for either side to this point. Ball, there's a ball there. That home run that she hit in the 1st really kind of set the tone for Hoopeston for the next several innings. So, I mean, just the momentum they got from that, I'd say, was a huge boost, even though they, squandered that lead last half inning. That they had the 7 runs to begin with certainly helped. It's low. 3-0. Offering to Linder. And she draws a walk.
So runners on 1st and 2nd, and no out here for Hoopeston.
Glenn will come out. Looks like Autumn Dysert's coming in to pitch for Urbana.
Maddie Gobble is next up to the plate for Hoopeston.
Indeed, Maddie Gobble, number 26, a freshman, looks like, for the Cornjerkers. About an inning ago when you stepped away, I highlighted our next softball broadcast is Tuesday against Shiloh right here at the softball field. Should be a fun one. Haven't looked at the weather yet for Tuesday.
I haven't either. Is that a 4:30 game?
I believe so, yes. They would have to be because there are no lights here.
True.
After school.
Well, there you go. This field's due for an upgrade then. We need some lights. We need a bigger backstop fence. And a permanent outfield fence wouldn't. I suppose this is permanent, but not as nice as the baseball field one.
And there was nearly a play on that from Madsen. It's fouled away.
I had a little bit too much turn on it there to get it way far out, away from Madsen.
Yep. To your point, there are rumblings of an ambitious fieldhouse project. We were talking about this the other day. All I've heard is, the rumors on the street about that, so I don't want to.
Well, I know the Urbana School District 116 Board of Education, they have a facilities committee that meets regularly, and they've been talking about all sorts of options throughout all the facilities in the school district, not necessarily a field house, but a little bit of everything. And the school district has really done a nice job of purchasing houses as they come up for sale at the block just north of the high school.
Yeah.
So they have some land to work with there.
Ah.
Oh, safe.
That was
unfortunately
misplayed over there at third. That umpire's obstructed my view of about anything hit to that area. So.
Well, it was hit to the third base player, and she took a minute to scoop it up there, lost it in the dirt, and then she went back once she got the ball and almost tagged that runner out, but just missed her.
Bring one in, bring one in.
Base is loaded.
I've got the premier seat out of us two, I guess. I can see everything.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I can see the edge of the scoreboard. Ball one. I was going to go off on a tangent, but with the bases loaded here, I should probably hold off on that. This is a big situation for Lauren Shepard.
Three balls here.
Dysart's got to bring it together here.
You don't want to walk in the tying run here, but I'm afraid
that's the case.
What's going to happen.
Man. And this game takes another interesting turn.
So an 8-8 ball game now in the top of the sixth.
Credit where credit is due to Hoopeston here. I mean, how easy would it have been to just give up, kind of, or not give up, I mean, only down one, but certainly to be very dejected after what happened in the last half inning. Would be understandable, but no, they've come out and they've kept the pressure on. They're making Urbana earn it. This is hit to Flintroy and right, gets past her. This is going to be trouble. Flintroy couldn't make the play. One is in for Hoopeston. Another one coming in. This is going to score two.
Going to score two there, and they probably could have gotten three, I think.
Yeah.
We saw some aggressive base running by the Tigers, and it paid off, but not so here by the Cornjerkers. But they do have a two-run lead now. They're back on top, 10-8.
I think you're right. They could have looked at three. I think it would have been a very close play at the plate. This is hit well down the line. Goes foul. Yeah, man.
Thankfully, I would have scored two if it was fair.
Yeah, and that probably would have been at least two bases for Small, perhaps maybe three. This is Peyton Small, the batter. We got Shepard at third. Olivia Montez, I believe, hit that last double. She's at second. Inside for a ball. And another ball. 2-1. Dysart's having just maybe a bit of trouble finding the zone. And that's high ball three. But to come in a relief situation that she did, I mean, that's a very high pressure situation. Well hit to left. Fielded by Mercedes. Good throw back to the pitcher, Dysart, but alas, it scores one for Hoopeston. That was Lauren Shepard who came in. It's 11-8.
Mercedes has a nice defensive game out there in left field today.
I would argue that she's been Urbana's player of the game. All the outfielders, I think, have done a reasonable job this morning. Certainly, Mercedes has that two-run shot that at the time gave Urbana the lead. To her credit, Dysart's throw to Matson is in time, and that's the third out. It was a bit of a tough play for Lauren, but she held on.
So that gets the Tigers out of the inning. 4 runs come across for the Cornjerkers. It's an 11-8 ball game now.
Yeah.
As we head to the bottom of the 6th.
This is going to be a good one. Now Urbana can't give up. I mean, that's obvious, but you know.
Well, I really think that bottom of the 5th inning gave their their hitters a lot of confidence going to the plate now. They certainly know that they can string together a lot of runs if needed, and they only need half as many as they put up last time.
This 3 is half of 6.
Well, they actually had a 7-run inning. You know, they took the lead there, 8-7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every the players that scored in the bottom of the 5th for Urbana, Maddie Sanders, Cameron White, Aaron Wright, Lauren Matson, Shea Feller, Mercedes Williams, basically the first 6 batters for Urbana scored a run, and then Anais Flintroy, she was the last out of the inning, but she scored as a pinch runner. So 7 different players scored runs for the Tigers. And leading off is Esri Vesley. Do you remember how Anais recorded that last out? I didn't mark it.
I don't.
When in doubt, she struck out. That's my scorekeeping mentality.
She grounded out to the pitcher.
That's it. I already wrote K.
Well, there goes the whole ball game, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Pack it up. Let's go home.
Yeah.
No, yeah, she grounded out to the pitcher.
Yep.
I knew I'd remember. It just takes me a minute or two.
Right. There's certainly been a lot going on these past 2 innings or so. Hit out of the infield from Vesley. It's going to be a tough play for the second baseman. She can't make the play. And E4 gives Urbana an early base runner.
Well, that would have been a real tough play to come up for the second base, just because she was running back to get that ball and kind of had to go over her shoulder. And the right fielder, you know, was too close for the right fielder, so that's about exactly where you want that ball to go.
I believe that's what they call a Texas leaguer.
Well, I was hoping for another Texas leaguer there, Joe.
Yeah. I'm pretty good with the terminology. I know a can of corn is an easy fly ball for the infielder to.
These seem like things you picked up from Gino. I've never heard can of corn.
Well, it's an older phrase. It is. Oh, that's what. Gino, though, is certainly a guy he's been around baseball for a while. So, yeah. As we mentioned, Sanders is at the plate. As we mentioned, the Tigers baseball team, they're in action against Rantoul. I think they've got a round robin with Rantoul and I think maybe Westville. I know the JV team is in action. I think they're at Prairie this morning. 1-2 to Sanders. And I think I saw the JV softball team getting ready to leave for a game. So lots of action here with oh, don't hit my car. Didn't hit my car.
Came within inches of another car there.
Yeah, it did.
I tell you what, if it hits your car, I'll let you buy me a sandwich.
Oh, sure.
Is that how it works? There you go.
You wish that's how it worked. Oh.
Safe all around there. Runners on first and second with just 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Cameron White is up. Wouldn't expect much power from White here, but we know she's got the wheels to make something happen. If she can put it on the ground, she bunts it, goes foul.
You can hear I think that was the second base player out there for the Cornjerkers saying she bunts it every time. You knew what was coming up.
Yeah. Well, you see the third baseman's play, and the first baseman, too. The infield's way in.
This is the time where you whack it right back at him.
She bunts it.
I think it.
Anyways.
Yeah. I was going to say I thought that hit her. Unfortunately, so now 2 outs. Runners on first and second as White called out. That's going to bring Aaron Wright back up to the plate, the catcher for the Tigers.
And that's really unfortunate because the Tigers, if it had just been a natural out, you know, the first baseman to the pitcher covering. Well, we'll hold that thought. Wright might have an RBI here. That's Dysert coming around third. She's going to try to score. She will. An RBI for Aaron Wright.
So an 11-9 ball game now.
Yeah, this game just keeps taking turns. Sanders is at third.
And Joey, I know we haven't covered a lot of softball, but the past couple of seasons we've covered quite a few games, and this is the largest crowd I ever remember seeing out here for this doubleheader. I think a lot of the Hoopeston fans have made it over, and Urbana fans have made it out on this nice day at the ballpark.
Certainly. I'll say very good crowd for Hoopeston. I think we draw a few more students to games right after school because they just walk over and watch the game.
Well, and they might not be involved in track or prom later tonight,
right.
or as you know, as we've kind of commented, there's been a lot of stuff going around. So not a lot of students, but plenty of friends and family.
Yeah. No, yeah, very good crowd. Grounded to short here, and the throw will retire Madsen. So the Tigers get one on Aaron Wright's RBI single. She took second during that at-bat as we were talking, but alas, she's stranded along with Sanders. And we approach the top of the seventh, so we'll see how this plays out. We're going to be in for a good one here, Jason.
Tigers defense have got to hold them right where they're at and come back up to the offensive side of things and keep things going. That was a solid inning for the Tigers. We would have liked to see those other two base runners get across, of course, score as many runs as you can, but still, they strung together some nice hits there.
And Wright comes back to her position behind the plate. Dysert will stay in and pitch. Yeah, no, I would expect a pretty good crowd for Tuesday's game against Shiloh, I would say. I think this is the only Saturday morning softball game we have this year.
You might be right. It seems like a lot of them are weekday afternoons.
Check here. Yep, 4:30. Yep, this is the only Saturday morning game we have. We've got a few of those for baseball. First game of those Saturday doubleheaders. Outside, nice job by Wright to corral that. 0-1 to Maddie Pickett. Pickett, Rutherford, and Linder for Hoopeston. That's the heart of their order. Urbana is going to have Shea Feller, Mercedes Williams, and Nia James due up in the bottom half of the frame. This gets past Feller at third. And Maddie Pickett has herself a single. Not much you can do there, Jason. That's just well hit down the line. That's a good single. Rutherford fouls it right back to me. I think it was a bunt, but I looked away. In any case, strike one. Ball one. Double play would be big here. Bunt, foul. That bunt called foul. I guess did it hit right maybe before it because I know it rolled fair there. I'm not sure. Maybe it hit the plate or something.
I think it might have hit the plate. I don't think it hit right.
It's hard to tell. Like he said, it was in the box. Maybe it. Yeah. I don't know. 2 strikes to Rutherford. This is well struck to left. It's off the wall. Might have a play at third. We don't. She's safe. So not as bad as it could have been for Urbana, but the Cornjerkers now have runners at second and third with no outs.
That was a well-hit ball there.
It was off the bat. I didn't know if it would carry, but it was a line drive that just kept going.
Here we go. Go, Raven. Go, Mercy. Bring him in, Mercy.
Tigers aren't making this easy. I'll tell you that. Low ball one. Linder right to second. It's off of Vesley. One will score for Hoopeston. Throw to the plate, not in time. Two score for the Cornjerkers.
Oh,
Linder's looking three here. And they'll just throw it into Dysert. So
two runs come across there, so that makes it 13-9 if I'm scoring correctly.
Should be. I'll peek around the dugout at some point here after the half inning and double check that, but yes, I have 13-9. It's unfortunate.
That one in there for strike one.
Yep, 13-9 is what I have.
Emma Jett.
Right to Sanders. She makes the play.
Good. We need a couple more of those.
We do. That looks that was almost exactly like a play that happened. I think it was in the first or second inning. Sanders had a ball just like that.
Line drive hit right to her.
Yep. Looked like it got off the handle there.
There's one hit to the shortstop. And now two down here.
That's what happens when you swing a pitch inside. You could just hear the contact was different than it would have been had she hit it with the barrel.
Lauren Shepard up to the plate here for the Cornjerkers. She takes ball one.
Shepard has drawn two walks, had a sac bunt in the fifth, and flew out to first, or no, flew out to Marley Glenn in the second frame. On deck would be Olivia Montez. Two and one.
Got this one. Let's go.
2-1 to Shepard inside ball three. First base is open, so a walk wouldn't be the end of the world. Grounded to third. It's fielded, throw all the way across the diamond, gets past Matson. It'll bring a run in for Hoopeston. It's 14-9. And Shepard will stop at second. She might have had a chance to take third there. The throw at second got past Sanders, but not what Urbana was looking for. Olivia Montez will step up to the plate. Nope. I was wrong. Number 20.
Looks like Schomburg's coming in.
Yeah.
Sophomore Anna Schomburg up to the plate here for Hoopeston.
Yep.
She takes strike one.
Runners in scoring position at second, so I mean it's a strike. I've been watching Shepard. She might get aggressive and try to take third here. See how they decide to play it.
See if Dicer can fire it in here for strike three.
She can.
Does just that, and that's the third out of the inning. That will retire the side. The Cornjerkers leave one stranded. They get 3 across the plate to make it a 14-9 ball game here as we head to the bottom of the 7th, see what the Tigers can do.
It is 9-14. I can confirm.
All right, so we want at least a 5-run inning here, and
yeah.
I won't mind a 6-run. How about that?
I wouldn't mind it either. You gotta tighten the belts. Situation like this. Tighten the belts. I did that in a Illini game once that I was at.
Did they end up winning?
They did. It was
Okay.
the Ohio State
All right.
game, yeah.
There you go.
And then I did it again when I went to the NIT game against Northwestern, and they won that again. So
The NIT game against Northwestern.
against not Northwestern.
Oh, okay.
What am I talking about?
I was like, what year was that? I don't.
Who was that? Who did we play? Not Northwestern. I was thinking of an entirely different game. Who did we beat that night? It'll come to me. The point is we won both games. Fouled off.
Fouled off, headed to Joey's car.
Nope.
No.
Not anywhere near my car.
Bounces onto someone's car, but the concrete took the bulk of the bump there beforehand.
Back
that
to
one grounded up the middle.
And the play is made. Feller's out.
Mercedes Williams up to the plate now. She looks to get things started here for the Tigers. 1 out.
Well, remember, Williams had that 2-run shot in the 5th. Skies one here. This might be trouble. It falls. So Williams is going to reach first. Arrived at first and slipped a little bit, but she'll recover. And a nice Flintroy will have one on in a big situation here. Do you remember? Well, hold on. Foul. Do you remember who we played in the NIT here at home? Valpo and then someone else. I should remember. I was there. I was thinking of the tournament games I was watching against Northwestern, but yeah. They played some good ones. That's a ball.
We beat Valparaiso 82-57. And then beat Boise State 71-56.
Why did I say Northwestern? Williams is out at second, so Tigers are down to their last out. And it's Mackenzie Smith up for the Tigers. Good game either way, though. It was exciting. We pulled away late, but it was a good one. This will be Mackenzie Smith's first at-bat of the morning. Takes a high ball 1. Grounded to third. This could be the ball game. Throw on to first is in time, and Hoopeston emerges victorious in game 1 of this doubleheader, 14-9.
So a very exciting ball game to start off this doubleheader, Joey. 14-9. We saw Hoopeston jump out to an early 3-0 lead. And then later in the ball game, they led by 6, 7-1, midway through the 5th. Urbana came battling back in the bottom half of the 5th to make it an 8-7 Urbana lead. But Hoopeston not letting it rattle them at all as they finish off this game, winning 14-9.
Certainly, very good game. Wish we could cover the second, but we've got places to be.
Places to be and all sorts of things to do.
Certainly. So we thank you for joining us on the Tigers Media Network this morning. Again, our next broadcast is the 4th of April. That's next Tuesday against Shiloh. So for the whole crew, Jason Liggett, I'm Joey Wright. Final score, Hoopeston 14, Urbana 9.